Throughout the world, millions of men, women, and children are trafficked for forced labor. This egregious and inhumane crime is often unnoticed by society. Victims fear for their lives and their loved ones' lives. They work in appalling conditions with little or no wages and endure verbal, physical, sexual, and psychological abuse. They are told lies and given false promises. However, signs exist that can be seen and acted on. It is important to be aware of the red flag indicators that might suggest that labor trafficking is present within your community. The locations and settings where trafficking occurs do not always appear suspicious, and trafficking often occurs in very public places, such as restaurants and hotels. The indicators of labor trafficking may not be the settings themselves, but rather may be evident through the conditions and circumstances observed in the victim. Some red flag indicators of labor trafficking include a worker with an unexplained injury, or a person who is unaware that unsafe work conditions are unlawful, a person who is reluctant to discuss working conditions, a person who works excessive hours but receives little or no pay, and may be told that payment is on its way or asked to accept payment delays, or a person who is paying off a debt, immigration debt for example, but who can only pay it off in a certain way or to one individual. A person who has little or no idea where he or she is geographically located, a person who appears disoriented, an adult or minor who isn't in possession of identifying documents and may say that someone else has them. Groups of workers transported in and out of labor locations covertly or under controlled conditions. A person whose movement and activities appear to be controlled or monitored by another, or who appears to have a handler. Someone who controls the person's communications or who attempts to speak on his or her behalf. A person who is fearful of discussing his or her relationship to a person who appears to have control over him or her and is always transported to and from the work site by another person or another escort. The seriousness and cruelness of this clandestine crime underscores the need for law enforcement, businesses, and the general public to increase their overall awareness of the red flag indicators of labor trafficking and what they should do if they suspect someone is working against his or her will. If you suspect an instance of labor trafficking and believe the victim is in immediate danger, dial 911 immediately and provide as much detailed information about the incident as possible, including the physical location of the incident and victim, a description of the suspect, details of the incident, and injuries that require medical attention. If you suspect labor trafficking and the victim is not in immediate danger, call the National Human Trafficking Hotline at 1-888-373-7888 or text HELP to 233-733. Be free and report your observations and suspicions to your local law enforcement agency's non-emergency line.